Hello, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here for another English listening practice lesson. Today's topic is one of the most important parts of everyday communication. We are going to learn how to talk about emotions and feelings in English naturally. Every single day, we experience different emotions. Sometimes we feel happy. Sometimes we feel excited. Other times, we feel tired, worried, relaxed, or even disappointed. Being able to describe these emotions clearly helps you communicate more naturally and connect with other people. Think about your daily conversations. Someone might ask, "How are you feeling today?" Or, "Is everything okay?" Maybe a friend wants to know why you're smiling. Perhaps a coworker notices that you seem tired. These are all moments when emotional vocabulary becomes incredibly useful. Instead of always saying, "I'm good" or "I'm fine," you can describe exactly how you feel. That makes your English sound much more fluent and expressive. Throughout today's lesson, you'll learn practical vocabulary, natural expressions, and everyday sentence patterns that native English speakers use all the time. As always, don't worry if you don't understand every word immediately. Simply listen carefully, focus on the overall meaning, then repeat every sentence aloud. The more you practice, the more naturally you'll begin speaking English. Let's begin. Imagine someone asks, "How are you feeling today?" You might answer, "I'm feeling wonderful today. I had a relaxing weekend, so I have plenty of energy and I'm ready for a new week." Or maybe your answer is completely different. Perhaps you didn't sleep very well last night. You stayed awake watching a movie, studying, or thinking about tomorrow. Now you're feeling a little tired and your body is asking for more rest. Everyone experiences days like that. It's completely normal. Our emotions constantly change throughout the day. Sometimes we wake up feeling refreshed. Other mornings, we need a little time before we feel fully awake. A cup of coffee, a short walk, or simply taking a deep breath can completely change how we feel. Many people also notice that their emotions depend on what happens during the day. Receiving good news can make you feel excited. Spending time with loved ones often makes you feel peaceful. Finishing an important project can leave you feeling proud and accomplished. On the other hand, unexpected problems may leave you feeling frustrated or worried. Emotions are a natural part of being human. There are no good emotions and bad emotions. Every feeling tells us something important. The key is learning how to recognize those emotions and express them clearly. Now, let's begin with positive emotions. One of the most common emotions is happiness. But happiness isn't always the same. Sometimes you're simply happy. Other times you feel joyful because something wonderful happened. You may feel cheerful after hearing your favorite song, or delighted when you finally achieve a goal you've been working toward for a long time. Each word describes happiness in a slightly different way. That's why expanding your emotional vocabulary helps your English become much richer. Think about a time when you spent an afternoon with close friends. Perhaps you laughed together for hours, shared stories, ate delicious food, and forgot about your worries for a while. Moments like these often leave us feeling joyful and grateful. Or imagine you've been working on a difficult project for several weeks. Finally, after all your effort, you finish it successfully. At that moment, you might feel proud, satisfied, and accomplished. Those feelings come from knowing that your hard work paid off. Many people also feel excited when they're about to travel somewhere new. Planning a vacation, buying plane tickets, packing a suitcase, and imagining new experiences often creates a wonderful feeling of anticipation. Excitement gives us energy, it makes us smile, and it motivates us to look forward to the future. Another beautiful emotion is feeling peaceful. Perhaps you're walking through a quiet park, listening to birds singing, watching the sunset, or sitting beside a lake. Everything feels calm. Your mind becomes quiet, and for a few moments, nothing seems stressful. These peaceful moments are often the most valuable parts of our day. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me. I feel happy today. I'm in a great mood. I feel joyful when I spend time with my family. Finishing my work makes me feel accomplished. I'm excited about the future. I feel peaceful in nature. Music always makes me feel better. Every day brings different emotions. Excellent work. You're already learning how to describe your feelings naturally in English. Keep listening carefully, keep repeating every sentence, and remember, talking about emotions is one of the best ways to make your English sound more natural, more expressive, and more connected to real life. Welcome back! In the first part of today's lesson, we talked about why emotions are such an important part of everyday communication. Now, let's explore different emotions in more detail and learn how to describe them naturally in English. One of the most common questions people ask is, what makes you feel happy? Everyone has a different answer. Some people feel happiest when they spend time with family. Others enjoy being with close friends. Many people feel joyful after reaching an important goal or learning something new. Happiness doesn't always come from big achievements. Sometimes it's created by simple moments. A quiet morning, a warm cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, or hearing your favorite song. Small moments often create the greatest happiness. Another common feeling is pride. Imagine you've been working hard on a difficult project for several weeks. There were moments when you wanted to give up, but you kept going. Finally, you finished successfully. At that moment, you don't just feel happy, you feel proud of yourself. You recognize that your effort was worthwhile. Many people also feel proud after passing an important exam, learning a new skill, or helping someone who needed support. Closely related to pride is the feeling of accomplishment. When you accomplish something meaningful, you experience deep satisfaction. Perhaps you've been studying English every day for several months. Then one day, you realize you understand an entire conversation without translating every sentence. That moment feels incredibly rewarding. Progress often creates motivation. The more progress we see, the more excited we become to continue learning. Another beautiful emotion is gratitude. Gratitude means appreciating the good things in your life. Some people keep gratitude journals where they write 3 things they're thankful for every evening. Others simply pause for a moment each day to appreciate their family, health, friendships, or opportunities. People who regularly practice gratitude often report feeling happier and less stressed. Now let's move to more difficult emotions. Every person experiences sadness at some point. Perhaps you receive disappointing news. Maybe you miss someone who lives far away. Or perhaps a special chapter of your life comes to an end. Feeling sad doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Sadness is a normal human emotion. Allowing yourself to experience it is often healthier than pretending everything is fine. Sometimes sadness becomes loneliness. Although these words are related, they aren't exactly the same. You can feel lonely even when many people are around you. Loneliness is the feeling of lacking meaningful connection. Many people experience loneliness after moving to a new city or starting a new job. Fortunately, reaching out to friends, joining communities, or trying new activities often helps reduce those feelings. Now let's talk about worry. Many people feel nervous before important events. Perhaps you're about to take an exam, attend a job interview, or give a presentation in front of a large audience. Your heart begins beating faster. Your hands may become slightly sweaty. Your mind starts imagining different possibilities. That's completely normal. Feeling nervous usually means that something is important to you. Anxiety is slightly different. Unlike nervousness, which often focuses on one specific event, anxiety can sometimes last much longer. People may worry about the future, finances, health, family, or situations they cannot control. Learning healthy ways to manage anxiety can make everyday life much easier. Deep breathing, exercise, talking with someone you trust, or simply taking a short break often helps reduce stress. Speaking of stress, modern life gives many people plenty of reasons to feel overwhelmed. Imagine opening your email and seeing dozens of unread messages. Your phone keeps ringing, several deadlines are approaching, and your to-do list seems endless. Moments like these can make anyone feel overwhelmed. The good news is that breaking large problems into smaller tasks often helps you regain a sense of control. Instead of trying to solve everything at once, focus on one step at a time. Many successful people use this strategy every day. Now let's discuss frustration. Frustration happens when you know exactly what you want to do, but something prevents you from doing it. Perhaps your computer suddenly stops working. Maybe you're stuck in heavy traffic while you're already late, or you've been trying to solve a difficult problem for hours without success. These situations don't always make us angry. They often leave us feeling frustrated instead. Another common feeling is embarrassment. Everyone has experienced embarrassing moments. Maybe you forgot someone's name, accidentally called a teacher by the wrong name, tripped while walking, or said something you immediately wished you could take back. Embarrassing moments happen to everyone. Fortunately, most people forget them much faster than we imagine. Learning to laugh at yourself is often one of the healthiest ways to deal with embarrassment. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me. I feel proud of my progress. Learning new things makes me feel accomplished. I'm grateful for my family. Sometimes I feel lonely. I get nervous before presentations. Too much work makes me feel overwhelmed. Traffic always frustrates me. Embarrassment happens to everyone. Excellent work! You're building a much richer emotional vocabulary and learning how to express your feelings more naturally in English. Keep listening, keep repeating, and remember, being able to describe your emotions clearly helps you communicate more confidently and build stronger connections with other people. Welcome back. So far, you've learned how to describe both positive and negative emotions in natural English. Now let's explore some more complex feelings that people experience throughout everyday life. Not every emotion is simple. Sometimes we feel two different emotions at the same time. These situations can be difficult to describe. Fortunately, English has many useful words that help express these complicated feelings. Let's begin with uncertainty. Life is full of situations where we don't know what will happen next. Perhaps you've applied for a new job. Maybe you're waiting for exam results, or you're making an important decision that could change your future. During moments like these, it's completely normal to feel uncertain. Being uncertain simply means that the future isn't clear yet. Most people find uncertainty uncomfortable because we naturally like knowing what to expect. Closely connected to uncertainty is the feeling of being conflicted. Imagine receiving two wonderful job offers. One job pays more money, the other offers a better work-life balance. Both choices have advantages, both require giving something up. You might feel conflicted because your mind is pulled in two different directions. This emotion often appears when there isn't an obvious right answer. Another common feeling is doubt. Sometimes we doubt a situation. Other times we doubt ourselves. Self-doubt happens when we begin questioning our own abilities. Perhaps you're learning English and thinking, my pronunciation isn't good enough, or I'll probably make mistakes. Almost every language learner experiences these thoughts. The important thing is remembering that mistakes are part of learning. Confidence grows through practice, not perfection. Speaking of confidence, let's talk about one of the most valuable emotions you can develop. Confidence doesn't mean believing you're perfect. It means trusting yourself enough to keep trying, even when things aren't easy. Confident people still make mistakes. The difference is that they don't allow those mistakes to stop them. Every successful person has experienced failure. What separates them is their willingness to continue. Sometimes, however, confidence disappears for a while. You may begin feeling insecure. Insecurity often appears when we compare ourselves with other people. Maybe someone seems more successful, more experienced, or more talented. Social media can sometimes make these feelings even stronger because we usually see only the best moments of other people's lives. Remember that comparing your everyday life with someone else's highlights is never a fair comparison. Your progress should be measured against your own past, not someone else's journey. Another emotion many people experience is jealousy. Jealousy often appears when someone else has something we wish we had. Perhaps they received a promotion, bought a new house, or achieved a goal that we're still working toward. Feeling jealous doesn't automatically make someone a bad person. It's a natural human emotion. The important thing is choosing what to do with that feeling. Some people allow jealousy to become bitterness. Others use it as motivation to improve their own lives. That second choice is usually much healthier. Now, let's talk about inspiration. Inspiration is one of the most powerful positive emotions. Sometimes a conversation changes the way we think. Sometimes a book, a movie, a teacher, or another person's success encourages us to dream bigger. Inspiration gives us fresh energy. It reminds us that change is possible. Many people discover new goals after hearing someone else's story. Closely connected to inspiration is motivation. Although these words are similar, they're not exactly the same. Inspiration often creates the initial spark. Motivation is what helps you continue working after the excitement begins to fade. Real success usually depends on consistent motivation rather than short moments of excitement. Encouragement also plays an important role. Sometimes a few supportive words from another person completely change our attitude. Imagine practicing English for several months. One day, someone says, "Your English has improved so much." Suddenly, you feel encouraged to keep studying. Positive feedback reminds us that our hard work is producing results. Another difficult emotion is disappointment. Perhaps you prepared carefully for an interview but didn't get the job. Maybe your vacation was canceled because of bad weather, or you worked hard toward a goal that didn't happen as planned. Disappointment can be painful because it follows hope. However, disappointment also teaches resilience. Many opportunities appear only after previous plans don't work out. Life rarely follows a perfectly straight path. Learning to recover from disappointment is one of the most valuable emotional skills we can develop. Finally, let's talk about optimism. Optimistic people believe that better days are ahead. This doesn't mean they ignore problems, it simply means they believe solutions are possible. Optimism helps people continue moving forward even during difficult times. Choosing hope doesn't eliminate challenges, but it often gives us the strength to face them. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me. Sometimes I feel uncertain about the future. Big decisions make me feel conflicted. I don't let self-doubt stop me. Confidence grows with practice. I try not to compare myself with others. Inspiration gives me new energy. Supportive people encourage me. Disappointment helps me become stronger. I choose to stay optimistic. Excellent work! You're expanding your emotional vocabulary and learning how to describe even complex feelings naturally in English. Keep listening, keep repeating, and remember, understanding your emotions helps you become not only a better English speaker, but also a better communicator. Welcome back. You've learned how to describe both simple and complex emotions in English. Now it's time to review some of the most useful vocabulary from today's lesson. These are words and expressions you'll hear in everyday conversations with native English speakers. Let's begin with our first word, groggy. Groggy describes the feeling you have when you've just woken up and you're still tired, sleepy, and not fully alert. Many people feel groggy before they have their first cup of coffee. For example, I always feel groggy when I wake up too early. Or, after only 4 hours of sleep, I felt groggy all morning. Being groggy usually doesn't last very long. Once your body wakes up, you begin feeling much more energetic. Now, repeat after me. I feel groggy in the morning. Coffee helps me wake up. I wasn't fully awake yet. Excellent. Now let's review another important word, joyful. Joyful means extremely happy. It's a stronger word than simply saying happy. People often feel joyful during celebrations, family gatherings, weddings, birthdays, or other special moments. For example, I felt joyful when I saw my family again, or the children looked joyful on Christmas morning. Joy usually comes from meaningful experiences rather than small everyday events. Now repeat after me. I felt joyful today. Simple moments make me happy. I'm grateful for what I have. Wonderful. Now let's review another important word, anxious. Anxious means feeling worried about something that may happen. Many people feel anxious before interviews, exams, presentations, or important conversations. For example, I'm feeling anxious about tomorrow's meeting, or she felt anxious while waiting for the doctor's results. Feeling anxious is completely normal. The important thing is learning healthy ways to manage those feelings. Repeat after me. I feel anxious before important events. Deep breathing helps me relax. Everything will be okay. Excellent. Now let's learn another useful word, overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, you feel that you have too many responsibilities, problems, or emotions all at once. It feels like everything is happening at the same time. For example, I felt overwhelmed by all the work I had to finish. Or, she was overwhelmed with emotion after hearing the wonderful news. Notice that overwhelmed isn't always negative. You can also feel overwhelmed by kindness, happiness, or love. Now repeat after me. I felt overwhelmed today. There was too much work. I needed a short break. Very good. Next, let's look at the word frustrated. Frustrated means feeling upset because something is preventing you from reaching your goal. Perhaps your computer isn't working, you're stuck in traffic, or you can't solve a difficult problem. For example, I felt frustrated because nothing was working. Or, he became frustrated after trying for several hours. Frustration usually disappears once the problem is solved. Now repeat after me. I feel frustrated sometimes. Problems help us grow. I kept trying until I succeeded. Excellent. Now let's continue with the word content. Content means quietly happy and satisfied with your life. Unlike excitement, contentment is peaceful and calm. You don't feel like anything is missing. For example, I'm content with my life. Or, after dinner, I sat quietly and felt completely content. Many people spend years chasing happiness, but discover that contentment is often even more valuable. Now repeat after me. I'm content today. Simple moments make me happy. I'm grateful for what I have. Wonderful. Now let's review the adjective exhausted. Exhausted means extremely tired, much stronger than simply saying tired. You might feel exhausted after a long day at work, an intense workout, or a sleepless night. For example, I was exhausted after my business trip. Or, she looked completely exhausted after studying all night. When you're exhausted, your body needs proper rest. Repeat after me. I'm exhausted. I need some sleep. Tomorrow is another day. Excellent. Our next word is conflicted. Conflicted means having two opposite feelings at the same time. Perhaps you want to move abroad but don't want to leave your family. Or you're excited about a new opportunity but also nervous about the changes. For example, I felt conflicted about my decision. Or she was conflicted because both choices seemed good. Life often presents situations without perfect answers. Now repeat after me. I feel conflicted. It's a difficult decision. I need more time to think. Very good. Let's continue with the word inspired. Inspired means feeling motivated by another person, experience, or idea. Inspiration often gives us energy to improve ourselves. For example, I felt inspired after reading that book. Or, his story inspired me to work harder. Inspiration often becomes the beginning of meaningful change. Now repeat after me. I feel inspired. I want to keep learning. Success inspires me. Excellent. Now let's review the word disappointed. Disappointed means feeling sad because something didn't happen the way you expected. Perhaps your plans changed, you didn't get the result you hoped for, or something important was canceled. For example, I felt disappointed after the interview. Or they were disappointed when the concert was canceled. Disappointment is part of life, but it doesn't have to stop your progress. Repeat after me. I felt disappointed. I'll try again. Every setback teaches something valuable. Wonderful. Our final word is encouraged. Encouraged means feeling more confident because someone supported or believed in you. A few kind words can completely change someone's attitude. For example, my teacher encouraged me to keep practicing, or I felt encouraged after hearing the positive feedback. Encouragement often gives people the confidence to continue when things become difficult. Now repeat after me. I feel encouraged. I believe in myself. I will keep improving. Fantastic work. Today, you've learned some of the most useful vocabulary for talking about emotions and feelings in natural English. The more often you use these words, the more expressive and confident your English will become. Welcome to the final part of today's English listening practice. Congratulations on reaching the end of this lesson. Today, you've learned how to describe your emotions naturally in English. From simple, everyday feelings to more complex emotional experiences, you now have the vocabulary you need to express yourself with greater confidence. Let's review everything together. Imagine someone asks you, "How are you feeling today?" Instead of answering, "I'm fine," you now have many more natural options. For example, "I'm feeling cheerful today because I had a relaxing weekend," or "I'm a little exhausted because I worked late last night." Perhaps you could say, "I'm feeling excited because I'm traveling next week," or "I'm a bit anxious because I have an important interview tomorrow." Using specific emotional vocabulary makes your English sound much more fluent and authentic. Throughout today's lesson, we explored many positive emotions. We talked about feeling happy, joyful, cheerful, delighted, excited, enthusiastic, encouraged, grateful, confident, peaceful, and content. Although all of these emotions are positive, each one has its own meaning. Joyful describes deep happiness. Content describes quiet satisfaction. Inspired gives you new ideas and motivation. Encouraged means someone has given you confidence. Learning these differences helps you communicate much more naturally. Then, we discussed more challenging emotions. Everyone experiences sadness, loneliness, nervousness, anxiety, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, uncertainty, and stress from time to time. These emotions are completely normal. They don't make you weak, they're simply part of everyday life. The important thing is recognizing how you feel and expressing those emotions in healthy ways. We also explored more complex emotions. Sometimes you feel conflicted because two choices both seem right. Sometimes you feel insecure because you're comparing yourself with others. Perhaps you feel jealous when someone else succeeds, or optimistic because you believe good things are still ahead. Real life is rarely simple. Our emotions often change several times throughout a single day. Understanding these feelings helps us understand ourselves better. Another important lesson from today is that emotions aren't permanent. You might wake up feeling groggy, become energetic after breakfast, feel stressed during work, relax in the evening, and go to bed feeling peaceful and content. Our emotional state changes constantly depending on our experiences, our thoughts, and the people around us. That's completely natural. We also learned that emotions help us connect with other people. When someone tells you they're feeling nervous before an interview, you can encourage them. When a friend feels disappointed, you can offer support. When someone shares exciting news, you can celebrate with them. Understanding emotional vocabulary makes conversations warmer, deeper, and more meaningful. Now let's review today's most useful vocabulary. Repeat after me: groggy, joyful, anxious, overwhelmed, frustrated, content, exhausted, conflicted, inspired, disappointed, encouraged, confident. Excellent. Now let's practice complete sentences. Repeat after me. I feel joyful when I'm with my family. I'm feeling anxious about tomorrow. Too much work makes me feel overwhelmed. Traffic always frustrates me. I feel content with my life. After a long day, I'm usually exhausted. I'm conflicted about my decision. My teacher inspired me. I felt disappointed, but I didn't give up. My friends always encourage me. Confidence grows through practice. Fantastic! Now it's time for your final speaking challenge. Imagine you're talking with a close friend. They ask, "How have you been feeling lately?" Try speaking for at least 2 minutes without stopping. Describe your emotions honestly. Talk about what makes you happy. Explain what sometimes makes you nervous or stressed. Describe moments when you feel proud, inspired, or encouraged. Mention situations that make you feel disappointed or frustrated. And finally, explain what helps you feel calm, peaceful, and motivated again. Don't worry about making mistakes. The goal isn't perfect English. The goal is expressing your real thoughts and emotions. Every conversation helps you become a more confident speaker. Every new word gives you another way to express yourself. Remember, language isn't only about grammar and vocabulary. Language is about people. It's about sharing ideas, building relationships, expressing emotions, and understanding others. The more confidently you talk about your feelings, the more natural your English conversations will become. Keep listening, keep repeating, keep speaking, and most importantly, never stop expressing yourself in English. Thank you so much for joining today's English listening practice lesson. I hope this lesson helps you feel much more confident talking about emotions and describing your feelings naturally in English. I'll see you again in the next lesson. Until then, stay curious, keep practicing every day, and remember that every conversation is another step toward fluency. Have a wonderful day, take care of yourself, and happy learning.